Alright, this video provides you tips on how to finish the worksheet and the accounting cycle, lesson 4. So I'm already in it. I'll go over here, and they had told us to open up our worksheet, and the objective of this one, thus the name, is to complete the worksheet, all the gray boxes that need to be filled in. So, trial balance, that's something that we're familiar with. So we're just going to go take the general ledger balances and transfer them over. So it's kind of big here. Let's see if I can just minimize, make this smaller. Okay, so what's our cash balance? 15,454. So let's see if it turns green. 15,454, and then put in the 2 zeros for the cents. Do not type the decimal as they told us earlier in the lesson. Now, carrying the balances over, if there's no adjustments, no debit or credit adjustments, but in this case there are none, you can just go straight over here and it should be the same thing. Oops, I put too many zeros in there. Okay, now, so see, the number just carries over to the balance sheet if there's no adjustments. So I'll let you do the accounts receivable. You're just going to go over here, go to accounts receivable, type that number in, 733500. It'll turn green, and then transfer it over here. It'll turn green. I'm going to go to parts because that's the first adjustment, and that's the confusing one. So let's go down here to parts. All right, we type in ending balance, which is a debit balance of 1,170. $1,170 with 2 zeros for the cents. Now, if I were to type it over here, 1,170 with 2 zeros, you see it remains red. Not the right answer, because the adjustment is saying this. It's saying we used up some of our parts inventory. So right over here, it says we used 1,110 worth of parts. Insurance is the same as the previous. Okay, wait, used one worth of parts. Oh, period. And then they talk about insurance. We'll just talk about parts first. Okay, so we're going to make an adjustment. What does it mean if we used up 1,000? I'm going to type in 1,110 and then put the 3 zeros. It means we have to credit that debit balance because we're decreasing the balance. And then what this number becomes, let's see here. So 1,170 minus 1,100 should be just $60 left. It decreased it by 1,110, which is a $60 difference. So now notice the new debit balance is $60 because we decreased it, we credited it by this amount. Now, there's always a corresponding expense for all of these adjustments. So parts expense, we're going to go down here, and that gets debited by the same amount as this, because see, these two columns go together, this adjustment column. So we're going to type in the 1110, and now these guys match, and they turn green. What about, okay, insurance is the same as the previous month. So when they say the previous month, we're going to go like this. Previous. Let's go see what our insurance. We used up $116.67. $116.67. Uh-oh, I put in too many. I wasn't supposed to put in all those zeros. So the corresponding insurance expense, because for every debit we have a credit, every credit we have a debit, that's a double entry accounting. So I'm going to type that in down here. And so let's go take a look at our insurance over here. Prepaid insurance, what did it start at? 12,833. Good. And I'm going to stop there because those are the only adjustments you have. And So as far as filling in the rest of these boxes, it's pretty easy. The only you guys are going to have to do the subtraction problem here. Take this amount, subtract that, and that's what goes here. Whatever your accounts receivable is here, goes over there. What goes here? Whatever goes here and here, goes over here because there's no adjustments happening to it. Whatever goes here, goes over here. Whatever goes here, goes over here, and so forth. All of these just get transferred over here. Now the question is, when you get down here, because you guys are going to be summing, this is a sum of everything in this column, this is the sum of everything in this column. So you're going to be summing everything up, sum of everything, sum, these are all just sums. The question is, what do you do right here to get to your new sums? Like there's a box here, which means it changes this one, gets added to this, and so this is a new sum. This one, there's nothing here, there's no gray box, so this just gets transferred down. It's the same number. This gets transferred down, same number. This number is going to be added to this number. So the question is, where do you come up with these two numbers? They'll be the same thing. Where do you come up with those numbers? Well, it's the difference between this and all of these. It's like your net income, really, profit or loss. And so you put it here, and you put it here. And now let's just go look at last month. We're going to use last month as an example. So this is our sales, right? All of our sales coming in the door, 36,000 roughly. And notice the number just comes down. This number here, 27,000, is the sum of all of our expenses. And you just take the difference between those two and put that number right here. That's the 9,000. So this number plus this number equals this number, and notice then they balance, because debits have to balance with credits in each column. And same thing happens over here. How does it balance out? Because we're going to put that same amount there, and that's the net income. All right, so do that same thing when you get down there, and you should be able to finish this worksheet on your own.